First contact and forced alliance. In the vast expanse of the Orion Arm, humanity's first interstellar colony ship, the ISV Horizon, drifted silently through the inky void. Captain Zara Chen stood on the bridge, her dark eyes fixed on the swirling nebula ahead. After 5 years in cryosleep, they were finally approaching their destination, Kepler 186f, humanity's best hope for a new home. "Captain, we're picking up an anomalous signal," reported Lieutenant Raj Patel, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. "It's not like anything we've seen before." Zara frowned, leaning in to examine the readings. "Origin." "It seems to be coming from the Kepler system itself," Raj replied, his voice tinged with concern. Before Zara could respond, a blinding flash of light erupted outside the viewscreen. The ship shuddered violently, alarms blaring throughout the vessel. "We're under attack," shouted Commander Elena Volkov, the ship's tactical officer. "Unknown energy weapons, shields at 60% and falling." Zara's mind raced. They were unprepared for combat, their ship designed for colonization, not warfare. Evasive maneuvers. "Raj, try to open a communication channel." "Elena, power up the mining lasers. It's not much, but it's all we've got." As the Horizon weaved through space, narrowly avoiding the barrage of alien fire, a massive ship emerged from the nebula. Its design was unlike anything humanity had ever conceived. Organic curves melded with crystalline structures, pulsing with an otherworldly energy. "Channel open," Reg announced, his voice shaking. Zara took a deep breath. "This is Captain Zara Chen of the ISV Horizon. We come in peace. Please cease your attack." For a moment, there was only static. Then, a guttural voice responded, the universal translator struggling to keep up. "Humans, you trespass in Krolthax space. Prepare to be boarded and processed." The last word sent a chill down Zara's spine. "Processed? With peaceful colonists, we mean you no harm." "Your intentions are irrelevant," the alien voice growled. "Your genetic material will serve the Krolthax Imperium." Zara's mind raced. They couldn't outrun or outfight this advanced alien vessel. But maybe... Wait, we propose a challenge. Our best warrior against yours. If we win, you let us pass. If we lose, we submit without further resistance. There was a long pause. Zara held her breath, acutely aware of the thousands of colonists still in cryosleep, blissfully unaware of the danger they faced. Intriguing, the alien voice finally responded. "We accept. Prepare your champion. You have 1 planetary rotation." As the communication cut off, Zara turned to her stunned crew. "Wake up Major Sarah Donovan. If anyone can get us out of this mess, it's her." Hours later, Sarah Donovan stood in the Horizon's hangar bay, her muscular frame encased in a sleek exosuit. The former Special Forces operative had been selected as the ship's head of security, though she never imagined her skills would be put to the test like this. "Are you sure about this, Captain?" Sarah asked, her green eyes intense beneath her close-cropped red hair. Zara nodded grimly. "You're our best shot, Sarah. The fate of the entire mission rests on this." A shimmering portal appeared in the hangar, and a towering figure stepped through. The Krolthax warrior stood nearly 3 meters tall, its body a nightmarish fusion of chitinous armor and cybernetic enhancements. In its 4 arms, it wielded weapons that crackled with unknown energies. Sarah's throat went dry. "Well, that's not exactly a fair fight, is it?" The alien's mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. "Fairness is irrelevant. Combat is the crucible of evolution. Begin." Without warning, the Krolthax warrior unleashed a barrage of energy blasts. Sarah's enhanced reflexes kicked in, allowing her to dodge and weave through the onslaught. She returned fire with her pulse rifle, but the shots seemed to dissipate harmlessly against the alien's armor. "Conventional weapons are useless," Zara shouted through the comm. "You need to find a weakness." Sarah gritted her teeth, analyzing her opponent as she continued to evade its attacks. The Krulfax moved with surprising agility for its size, but there was a pattern to its movements, a vulnerability in its stance. Holstering her rifle, Sarah charged forward, surprising the alien with her sudden aggression. She ducked under a swing of its massive arms and drove her fist into a gap in its armor, right where its exoskeleton met its cybernetic components. The Krulfax roared in pain, staggering backward. Sarah pressed her advantage, unleashing a flurry of precise strikes at the weak points in its defenses. With each blow, the alien's movements became more erratic, its attacks wilder and less coordinated. In a desperate move, the Krulfax activated some kind of energy field, sending Sarah flying across the hangar. She slammed into the wall, her exosuit absorbing most of the impact but leaving her dazed. The alien loomed over her, its weapons powering up for a killing blow. "Your species is weak, unworthy of existence." Sarah looked up, her vision blurry but her resolve unshaken. "We might not be the strongest," she growled, "but we're a hell of a lot smarter." With lightning speed, she grabbed a small device from her belt and hurled it at the Krulfax. The EMP grenade detonated, sending out a pulse of electromagnetic energy that short-circuited the alien's cybernetic systems. As the Krulfax writhed in confusion, Sarah sprang to her feet. She delivered a devastating roundhouse kick to its head, followed by a series of rapid punches to its now vulnerable body. The alien crashed to the ground, defeated. Silence fell over the hangar. Then slow, deliberate clapping echoed through the space. A new figure emerged from the portal, smaller than the warrior, but radiating an aura of authority. "Impressive," the alien said, its voice smoother than the first Krulfax they had encountered. "I am Sarlath, overseer of this sector. You have proven yourselves. Interesting." Zara stepped forward, standing beside Sarah. "We've won your challenge. Will you honor our agreement?" Sarlath's multifaceted eyes gleamed. "The agreement is honored, but perhaps there is an opportunity here for both our species. We Krulfax value strength and adaptability. You humans have demonstrated both." "What are you proposing?" Zara asked cautiously. "An alliance," Sarlath replied. "Your colony for our protection, your ingenuity for our technology. Together, we could be formidable." Zara and Sarah exchanged glances. This was far beyond their mission parameters, but the potential benefits and risks were enormous. "We'll need to discuss this with our full command staff," Zara said carefully, "and we'll want more details about exactly what this alliance will entail." Sarlath nodded. "Of course, we shall provide you with a data package outlining our proposal. Consider it carefully, humans. The galaxy is a dangerous place, and allies are precious few." As the alien delegation departed, leaving the humans to contemplate their unexpected offer, Sarah turned to Zara. "Well, Captain, I'd say first contact went a bit differently than we expected." Zara managed a wry smile. "That's an understatement, Major. But if there's one thing I've learned today, it's that humanity is full of surprises. Let's hope we have a few more up our sleeves. We're going to need them." As the ISV Horizon continued its journey towards Kepler 186f, now under the watchful eye of the Krulfax fleet, the human crew knew that their mission had irrevocably changed. The future they had envisioned, a simple colonization effort, had transformed into something far more complex and potentially perilous. But with that danger came opportunity. Humanity had taken its first steps onto the galactic stage, and though they were small, they had already proven themselves to be far from insignificant. The true test of their species lay ahead, in the delicate dance of diplomacy, the exchange of knowledge, and the forging of an unprecedented alliance. As Zara looked out at the stars, she felt a mix of trepidation and excitement. Whatever challenges awaited them on Kepler 186f, whatever secrets the Krulfax might be hiding, she knew one thing for certain: humanity would face it all with the same courage, creativity, and determination that had brought them to the stars in the first place. The stage was set for a new chapter in human history, one that would be written not just on Earth, but across the vast expanse of the cosmos, the cosmic canine companion. As the ISV Horizon approached the azure orb of Kepler 186f, tension aboard the ship was palpable. The uneasy alliance with the Krolfax weighed heavily on Captain Zara Chen's mind. She stood in the ship's newly constructed diplomatic chamber, a space hastily modified to accommodate their alien allies, guests, overlords. The distinction remained frustratingly unclear. Sarlaf, the Krolfax overseer, loomed before her, its iridescent exoskeleton shimmering under the chamber's lights. "Your landing site has been prepared, Captain," it chittered, mandibles clacking in what Zara had learned was a sign of satisfaction. "Our engineers have ensured optimal conditions for your colony's establishment." Zara nodded, suppressing a shudder at the alien's otherworldly appearance. "We appreciate the assistance, Overseer. But I must ask, what exactly do you expect in return?" "Your data package was vague on the specifics." Sarlaf's compound eyes glinted. "Ah, yes, the crux of our arrangement. We seek not your resources or your labor, Captain Chen. What we desire is far more unique." A holoprojector flickered to life, displaying an image that made Zara's breath catch in her throat. It showed a massive, wolf-like creature, its fur a deep midnight blue streaked with bioluminescent patterns. Cybernetic implants were visible along its spine and limbs, and its eyes glowed with an eerie intelligence. "This," Hexarlaf announced with unmistakable pride, "is a Voidhound. The pinnacle of Krolfax bioengineering, fierce, loyal, and linked directly to our neural networks. They are the perfect companions for our warriors." Zara frowned, confused. "I don't understand. What does this have to do with our alliance?" Sarlaf's mandibles twitched in what Zara had come to recognize as amusement. "The Voidhounds are magnificent creatures, Captain, but they have one flaw. They bond only with those they deem worthy. And in recent cycles, fewer and fewer Krolfax have been chosen." The alien gestured towards the image. "We believe humans may possess qualities that appeal to the Voidhounds. Your adaptability, your emotional range, these traits fascinate us. We propose an exchange. For each human who successfully bonds with a Voidhound, we will share significant technological advancements with your colony." Zara's mind reeled at the implications. "You want us to adopt your war dogs?" "In essence, yes," Karlaf confirmed. "But understand, Captain, these are not mere pets. A bonded Voidhound becomes an extension of its companion's will. The potential applications are limitless." Before Zara could respond, alarms blared throughout the ship. Lieutenant Raj Patel's voice crackled over the comm. "Captain, we're detecting massive energy fluctuations on the planet's surface. Some kind of storm is forming directly over our landing site." Zarlath's posture stiffened. "Impossible. Our calculations were precise." Zara sprinted to the bridge, the Krolfax overseer close behind. The view screen showed a swirling vortex of energy forming in Kepler 186's atmosphere, directly above their designated colony site. "It's some kind of quantum anomaly," Elena Volkov reported, her fingers flying over the sensor controls. "It's disrupting our landing systems. We can't set down safely." Sarlaf chittered rapidly into a communication device. "Our ships are experiencing similar difficulties. This phenomenon is unprecedented." Zara's mind raced. Thousands of colonists in cryosleep, depending on her to find them a home. An alien alliance hanging by a thread. And now, an impossible storm threatening to derail everything. "There has to be a way to disperse it," she muttered, more to herself than anyone else. Then, an idea struck. She turned to Xarlaf. "Your Voidhounds, you said they're connected to your neural networks. Could they potentially interface with the storm?" The alien's compound eyes widened. In theory, yes, but the risk. We'll take that risk, Zara interrupted. She hit the comm button. Major Donovan to the bridge immediately. Minutes later, Sarah Donovan stood before the view screen, her face set in grim determination. You want me to bond with one of these void hounds? And then what? Jump into that storm? That's the general idea, Zara confirmed. You're the only one with the necessary combat experience and neural plasticity to attempt this. If we can't disperse that storm, we lose our colony's sight, possibly the entire mission. Sarah took a deep breath, then nodded. All right, let's do this. The next hour was a blur of activity. A void hound was transported to the horizon, its massive form barely fitting in the cargo bay. Sarah stood before the creature, her heart pounding. The void hound's glowing eyes locked onto Sarah's. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, a jolt of energy surged between them. Sarah gasped as her mind expanded, connecting with the alien creature on a level she couldn't have imagined. Images flashed through her consciousness, alien worlds, cosmic wonders, the vast depths of space. The Void Hound's experiences became her own, its knowledge merging with her human intuition. The bond is formed, Kaxar announced, a note of awe in its alien voice. Remarkable. There was no time to celebrate. Sarah and her new companion were quickly outfitted with specialized gear designed to withstand the quantum storm. As they prepared to launch, Zara gripped Sarah's arm. Be careful out there, the captain said softly. We need you back in one piece. Sarah managed a cocky grin. Don't worry, Captain. Me and Nova here. We've got this. With that, Sarah and the newly named Nova launched from the horizon, plunging into the swirling maelstrom below. The storm's energy crackled around them, reality itself seeming to warp and twist. Through their mental link, Sarah guided Nova through the chaos. The Void Hound's natural ability to navigate quantum fluctuations, combined with Sarah's human intuition, allowed them to penetrate deeper into the anomaly than any Krolfax had managed before. At the storm's core, they found something unexpected, a pulsing orb of pure energy, unlike anything in Krolfax or human records. As they approached, the orb reacted, tendrils of light reaching out towards them. Sarah felt a moment of panic, but Nova's steady presence in her mind calmed her. Together, human and Void Hound reached out, making contact with the mysterious entity. A flood of information poured into Sarah's mind, glimpses of an ancient civilization, of cosmic wonders and terrible cataclysms. The quantum storm, she realized, wasn't a natural phenomenon. It was a test, left behind by a long-vanished species to judge the worthiness of those who would claim this world. With this understanding, Sarah and Nova worked in perfect harmony. They communicated with the entity, conveying humanity's hopes, dreams, and potential. Gradually, the storm began to dissipate. As the skies of Kepler 186f cleared, Sarah and Nova returned to the horizon, exhausted but triumphant. The colonists would have their new home, and humanity had passed an ancient test they hadn't even known they were taking. Zara met them in the landing bay, her eyes wide with wonder. What happened out there? Sarah, her mind still reeling from the experience, managed a tired smile. Captain, you're not going to believe this, but I think we just made first contact. Again. As the implications of Sarah's discovery sank in, Zara realized that their mission had become far more complex and far more important than anyone could have imagined. The alliance with the Krolfax, the mystery of the Void Hounds, and now the legacy of an ancient, vanished civilization. Humanity's first steps into the galactic community had become a giant leap into a cosmic mystery. And as the ISV horizon began its descent towards their new home, Zara knew that the greatest adventures and challenges still lay ahead. The story of humanity's expansion into the stars was just beginning, and it promised to be more incredible than anyone could have dreamed. Trials of trust and teamwork. As the sun rose over the fledgling human colony on Kepler 186f, casting an alien lavender glow across the landscape, Captain Zora Chen stood atop the newly constructed command center. The past month had been a whirlwind of activity, establishing the colony, integrating Krolfax technology, and attempting to unravel the mysteries left behind by the ancient civilization they now called the Precursors. But today marked a new milestone. Today, they would venture into the quantum nexus, the heart of the dissipated storm where Sarah and Nova had made their incredible discovery. Quite a view, isn't it? Sarah Donovan's voice came from behind her. The Major approached, Nova padding silently at her side. The Void Hound's bioluminescent patterns pulsed gently in the dawn light. Zora nodded, her expression pensive. It's beautiful and terrifying. Everything we thought we knew about the universe has been turned on its head. Sarah grinned, scratching Nova behind the ears. Welcome to the frontier, Captain. You ready for today's expedition? Before Zora could respond, a holographic display flickered to life beside them. Zalas's alien visage appeared, its compound eyes glinting with what they had learned was excitement. Greetings, humans, the Krolfax overseer chittered. Our preparations are complete. The quantum harness is ready for deployment. The quantum harness, a fusion of Krolfax biotechnology and reverse-engineered precursor artifacts, was their key to exploring the Nexus safely, in theory. Excellent, Zara replied, squaring her shoulders. We'll begin final checks immediately. Hours later, an unlikely team assembled at the edge of the shimmering energy field that marked the Nexus boundary. Zara and Sarah stood with Nova, joined by Elena Volkov, whose expertise in xenophysics had proven invaluable. Representing the Krolfax were Axalaf and Skathar, a towering warrior scientist whose cybernetic enhancements hummed with barely contained power. Remember, Axalaf warned, mandibles clacking nervously, the Nexus defies conventional physics. Trust your instincts, but be prepared for anything. With a shared nod of determination, the team activated their quantum harnesses and stepped into the swirling energy field. The world around them twisted and warped, colors bleeding into impossible hues. Zora felt her stomach lurch as gravity seemed to fluctuate wildly. Stay close, Sarah shouted, her voice distorted by the quantum fluctuations. Nova pressed against her leg, the Void Hound's presence a steadying force in the chaos. As they pushed deeper into the Nexus, coherent shapes began to form in the swirling energy. Ghostly structures shimmered into existence, towering spires, intricate machinery, and pulsing conduits of pure energy. By the Hive Mother, Skathar breathed, his usually stoic demeanor shaken. It's a city, an entire precursor city preserved in quantum suspension. Elena's eyes were wide with wonder as she took readings on her modified tricorder. The energy patterns are incredible. It's like the entire city is thinking, processing information on a scale we can barely comprehend. As they explored the phantom metropolis, holographic images flickered to life around them. They saw glimpses of the precursors, beings of pure energy and thought, their forms fluid and ever-changing. Look. Sarah pointed to a massive structure at the city's center. That has to be some kind of control hub. They made their way toward the pulsing edifice, marveling at the impossible architecture. But as they approached, the quantum fluctuations intensified. Reality itself seemed to fracture around them. Something's wrong, Zara shouted, fighting to maintain her footing as the ground beneath them rippled like water. The harnesses can't compensate. Suddenly, a blinding flash of light erupted from the control hub. When it faded, the team found themselves in a vast chamber, surrounded by swirling data streams and pulsing energy conduits. A voice, or rather 1,000 voices speaking as one, echoed through their minds. You AKV Silam far, young ones, but are you ready for the truth? Before anyone could respond, the chamber transformed. They were no longer in the precursor city, but floating in the void of space. Galaxies whirled around them, entire cosmic epochs passing in the blink of an eye. Behold, the great cycle, the voices intoned. Creation and destruction, eternally balanced. Images flashed before them, civilizations rising and falling, stars being born and dying, reality itself breathing in grand cosmic cycles. We were THEWATSTES, the KRATKES, the precursor voices continued. But our tiny HASPSST, the mantle of responsibility must be taken up by new hands. The visions shifted, focusing now on Earth and the Krolthax homeworld. They saw the parallel evolution of both species, the challenges they had overcome, the potential they held. Apart, you are fragile. Together, you may yet weat out the coming storm. With those ominous words, the cosmic vista faded. The team found themselves back in the control hub, shaken and overwhelmed by what they had witnessed. What? What do they mean by the coming storm? Elena asked, her voice trembling. Before anyone could speculate, alarms blared from their quantum harnesses. The Nexus was destabilizing, the carefully preserved precursor city beginning to collapse. We need to get out of here, Zara shouted. Now. They raced through the disintegrating quantum landscape, reality fracturing around them. Nova took the lead, the Void Hound's innate connection to quantum fields guiding them through the chaos. Just as it seemed they would be torn apart by the collapsing Nexus, they burst through the energy barrier, tumbling onto the solid ground of Kepler 186f. Behind them, the quantum Nexus imploded with a silent flash, leaving only a shimmering afterimage in the sky. As they caught their breath, human and Krolthax alike, the weight of what they had experienced settled over them. They had been given a glimpse of cosmic truths beyond imagination, and a warning of trials yet to come. Zara looked at her unlikely team, Sarah and Nova, their bond a bridge between species. Elena, her scientific mind racing with new possibilities. Haxalaf and Skathar, the Krolthax now inextricably linked to humanity's fate. I think, she said slowly, we're going to need a bigger colony. As night fell over Kepler 186f, the joint human-Krolthax settlement buzzed with activity. News of the expedition's discoveries spread quickly, igniting imaginations and sparking heated debates. The revelation of the precursor's message and the ominous warning of a coming storm had shaken both species to their core. In the newly established Nexus Research Center, Zara convened an emergency meeting with her senior staff and Krolthax representatives. The room was tense, filled with a mix of excitement and apprehension. All right, Zara began, her voice steady despite the turmoil in her mind. We need to break this down. What exactly did we learn, and what do we do with this information? Elena stepped forward, activating a holographic display of their sensor readings. The precursor technology we witnessed is, well, it's beyond anything we could have imagined. Their mastery of quantum mechanics makes our most advanced theories look like child's play. Exilaf chittered in agreement. Indeed, even Krolthax science pales in comparison. But more concerning is this coming storm they spoke of. What could threaten a civilization capable of such wonders? The room fell silent as the implications sank in. If something had wiped out the precursors, what hope did humanity and the Krolthax have? Sarah, who had been quietly conferring with Nova in the corner, suddenly spoke up. I think we're looking at this the wrong way. The precursors didn't just leave us a warning, they left us a challenge. They said together, we might weather the storm. Sofar's cybernetic eyes whirred as he focused on Sarah. You suggest we pool our resources, combine human and Krolthax knowledge. Exactly, Sarah nodded. But more than that. The Void Hounds, the quantum technology, even this planet, it's all connected. We need to think bigger. Zara felt a spark of inspiration. A joint fleet, she said, the idea taking shape as she spoke. Not just a colony, but a united force, ready to face whatever's coming. Human ingenuity, Krolthax biotech, and precursor quantum science. The room erupted in excited chatter. Ideas flew back and forth, designs for hybrid ships, training programs for human Krolfax crews, plans to decrypt more of the precursor data they had gathered. As the night wore on, a sense of purpose settled over the group. They had been given a monumental task, but also an unprecedented opportunity. Two species, once on the brink of conflict, now united in a cosmic cause. Zara looked out the window at the alien sky, where the ghostly remnants of the quantum nexus still shimmered. Whatever storm was coming, they would face it together. And just maybe, they would prove worthy of the legacy the precursors had left behind. As dawn broke on a new era for both humanity and the Krolfax, one thing was certain: the greatest adventure in galactic history was just beginning. Unveiling ancient secrets. The joint human Krolfax colony on Kepler 186f, now dubbed Nexus Prime, had transformed dramatically in the months following the quantum expedition. Gleaming spires of Krolfax bioarchitecture intertwined with human structures, creating a cityscape unlike anything seen in either species' history. At the heart of it all stood the Cosmic Concordance, a massive research facility dedicated to unlocking the secrets of precursor technology. Captain Zara Chen, now Admiral of the fledgling Galactic Defense Force, stood before a holographic display of the Milky Way. Countless stars twinkled, but her attention was fixed on a pulsing red indicator near the galactic core. "You're sure about this?" she asked, turning to the unlikely duo beside her. Sarah Donovan nodded, her hand resting on Nova's shimmering fur. The Voidhound's eyes glowed with an otherworldly intelligence. "Nova's been having visions. Something's stirring out there, and it's connected to the precursors." Sarlaf, who had become the Krolfax ambassador to Nexus Prime, chittered thoughtfully. "Our long-range quantum sensors have detected anomalous energy signatures in that region. It appears Major Donovan's bond with Nova has evolved beyond our expectations." Zara took a deep breath. "All right, prep the Starwaver for launch. It's time we put our new toys to the test." The Starwaver was humanity's first true starship, a marvel of hybrid technology. Its quantum drive, reverse-engineered from precursor artifacts, could bend space-time itself. The ship's living hull, a gift from Krolfax bioengineers, adapted to cosmic radiation and repaired damage in real time. Hours later, Zara stood on the Starwaver's bridge, marveling at the seamless integration of human and Krolfax crew members. Sarah and Nova took their place at the newly created Quantum Navigation Station, their minds linking directly with the ship's systems. "All stations report ready, Admiral," announced Elena Volkov, now the ship's XO. Zara nodded. "Initiate quantum fold. Take us to the galactic core." Reality twisted around them as the Starweaver pierced the fabric of spacetime. When the view screens cleared, they found themselves in a region of space unlike anything they had ever seen. Massive structures floated in the void, rings the size of solar systems, Dyson spheres engulfing stars, and crystalline webs that seemed to capture the very essence of space itself. It was a cosmic graveyard of precursor megastructures. By the Hive Mother, Khalaf breathed, mandibles quivering in awe. "We found it, the precursor home system." As they ventured deeper into the ancient complex, the Starweaver sensors came alive with data. They discovered vast energy networks, computing systems that defied known physics, and hints of technology that could reshape planets or destroy them. But something was wrong. Many of the structures showed signs of damage, not from age, but from some cataclysmic battle. "Nova's picking up something," Sarah reported, her voice tense. "A signal, buried deep in the quantum noise. It's a distress call." Before anyone could respond, a blinding light engulfed the bridge. When it faded, a holographic figure stood before them, a being of pure energy, its form shifting and flowing like liquid starlight. Inheritors, the precursor's voice resonated in their minds. "You have come at last, but I fear too late." The hologram expanded, showing them visions of an ancient war, The precursors, at the height of their power, faced a threat from beyond the galaxy, entities of dark energy consuming everything in their path. "We fought," the precursor continued, its voice heavy with eons of sorrow. "We used weapons that sundered reality itself, but it was not enough. We were forced to retreat, to hide in the spaces between moments, waiting for those who might finish what we could not." Zara stepped forward, her voice steady despite the weight of cosmic revelations. "What are you asking of us?" The precursor's form flickered. "The devourers slumber, sealed away by our final sacrifice. But the barriers weaken. You must find the cosmic keystones, artifacts we scattered across the galaxy. With them, you can access our greatest weapons and forge a defense against the coming darkness." As suddenly as it appeared, the precursor vanished. In its place floated a small crystalline object, the first cosmic keystone. Alarms blared throughout the ship. "Multiple quantum ruptures detected," Elena shouted. "Something's coming through." Space itself seemed to tear open, revealing glimpses of a nightmarish realm beyond. Tendrils of dark energy lashed out, grasping at the star waver. "Evasive maneuvers," Zara commanded. "Sarah, Nova, get us out of here." As the ship twisted through impossible geometries, narrowly avoiding the encroaching darkness, Zara realized the true scale of the challenge before them. They had stumbled upon a cosmic chess game, with the fate of not just their species, but the entire galaxy hanging in the balance. The star waver burst back into normal space, the crew shaken but alive. As Kepler 186 appeared on their view screens, Zara knew their real journey was just beginning. "Send word to Nexus Prime," she ordered, her voice firm with newfound purpose. Tell them we're going to need a bigger fleet." As the star waver descended towards the gleaming spires of Nexus Prime, the weight of their discovery settled over the crew. They had been thrust into a cosmic drama beyond imagination, inheritors of an ancient legacy and guardians against a threat they barely understood. But as Zara looked at her diverse crew, humans and Krolfax working in perfect harmony, Sarah and Nova representing a bond that transcended species, she felt a glimmer of hope. Together, they had already achieved the impossible. Perhaps, just perhaps, they stood a chance against the darkness that lurked beyond the stars. The hunt for the cosmic keystones would take them to the farthest reaches of the galaxy, testing the limits of their technology, their courage, and their newfound alliance. But as the first chapter of their cosmic odyssey came to a close, one thing was certain: the universe would never be the same again. Humanity's stand and galactic transformation. The celestial armada, a breathtaking fusion of human ingenuity, Krolfax bioengineering, and reverse-engineered precursor technology, hung in high orbit above Nexus Prime. Each ship pulsed with quantum energy, their living hulls shimmering with bioluminescent patterns that mirrored the stars around them. Admiral Zara Chen stood on the bridge of the flagship, the Cosmic Vanguard, her eyes fixed on the holographic display of the Milky Way. Glowing markers indicated the locations of the 4 cosmic keystones they had recovered over the past year, each mission more harrowing than the last. "Final reports coming in, Admiral," Elena Volkov announced, her voice tight with anticipation. "All ships report ready for the jump." Zara nodded, allowing herself a moment to marvel at how far they had come. Humans and Krolfax worked side by side, their differences forgotten in the face of a common threat. Each ship boasted at least one bonded pair of human and voidhound, their unique connection allowing for unprecedented control over the quantum drives. "Very well," Zara said, squaring her shoulders. "Initiate the final convergence protocol." Throughout the fleet, crews sprang into action. The 4 cosmic keystones, each housed on a different ship, began to resonate. Space itself seemed to ripple as the artifacts activated, creating a cascading wave of quantum entanglement that linked the entire armada. "Quantum fold in 3, 2, 1. Sarah Donovan called out, her mind melded with Nova's as they guided the fleet's navigation. Reality twisted, and the celestial armada vanished from Kepler 186's skies. They emerged in the heart of the galactic core, surrounded by the awe-inspiring remnants of precursor megastructures. But there was no time to marvel at the ancient wonders. Dark, writhing shapes loomed in the distance, the first wave of the Devourers, awakening from their cosmic slumber. All ships, battle formations, Zara commanded, her voice carrying across the quantum-linked fleet. Remember your training. We are the galaxy's last line of defense. The space between stars erupted into chaos. Beams of concentrated quantum energy lanced out from the human Krolthax ships, meeting the Devourer's tendrils of dark matter. Void hounds howled across the psychic plane, their otherworldly senses allowing the fleet to predict and counter the enemy's impossible movements. But for every Devourer they destroyed, two more seemed to take its place. The dark entities defied conventional physics, facing in and out of reality and shrugging off attacks that could shatter planets. This isn't working. Thylath chittered frantically from his position at the tactical station. We need to activate the Cosmic Forge. Zara gritted her teeth. The Cosmic Forge, the Precursor's ultimate weapon, capable of rewriting the fundamental laws of physics within a localized area. It was their trump card, but using it was a desperate gamble. Bring us into position, she ordered. All ships, converge on the Cosmic Vanguard. We'll only get one shot at this. As the fleet maneuvered into a tight formation, the Devourers seemed to sense their intent. A massive wave of dark energy surged towards them, threatening to engulf the entire armada. Now, Sarah, Zara shouted. Sarah and Nova, their minds linked not just with each other, but with every human Void Hound pair in the fleet, initiated the Cosmic Forge's activation sequence. The four keystones pulsed in unison, creating a hyperdimensional matrix around the fleet. Time seemed to slow as reality itself began to warp. Zara watched in awe as streams of pure cosmic energy flowed from the forge, weaving a new tapestry of existence around them. The laws of physics bent and reshapen, creating a bubble of altered space where the Devourer's dark energy couldn't exist. A blinding flash erupted from the Cosmic Forge, expanding outwards in a shockwave of creation. Where it touched the Devourers, they simply ceased to be, their impossible forms unraveling in the face of a rewritten cosmos. But the strain on the fleet was immense. Ships groaned as their hulls struggled to adapt to the new laws of physics. Crew members cried out as their very atoms reconfigured to match the altered reality. Just when it seemed they would be torn apart by the forces they had unleashed, a new presence made itself known. The precursor AI, dormant within the Cosmic Forge, awakened. Inheritors, its voice resonated through every mind in the fleet. You have proven yourselves worthy. But to truly defeat the Devourers, you must transcend your current forms. Are you prepared for the next step in cosmic evolution? Zara looked around at her crew, human, Krolthax, and Voidhound alike. She saw determination in their eyes, a shared willingness to sacrifice everything for the greater good. We are, she answered, speaking for all of them. The Precursor A's presence expanded, enveloping the entire fleet in a cocoon of pure quantum potential. Zara felt her consciousness stretching, merging with those around her. Human and Krolthax minds intertwined, their thoughts and memories becoming one. The Void Hounds acted as cosmic anchors, their unique quantum nature allowing the newly forming collective to maintain cohesion. In a blinding flash of revelation, Zara understood. They were becoming like the precursors, beings of pure energy and thought, transcending the limitations of physical form. But unlike their predecessors, they were not losing their individual essences. Instead, they were becoming something entirely new, a harmonious fusion of multiple species, combining the strengths of each into a gestalt entity beyond anything the galaxy had seen before. As the transformation completed, the newly ascended beings turned their attention to the remaining Devourers. With a mere thought, they reshaped reality around the dark entities, creating pockets of space where the laws of physics simply refused to accommodate their existence. The Devourers, for the first time in their unfathomable existence, knew fear. They retreated, fleeing back to the spaces between universes from which they had emerged. In the aftermath of the cosmic battle, the ascended human Krolfax collective paused to consider their new existence. They were no longer bound by the constraints of time or space. The entire galaxy lay open before them, filled with wonders to explore and civilizations to guide. But they also knew that their work was far from over. The Devourers would return one day, and there were other young species in the galaxy who would need protection and guidance. With a shared thought, the collective made a decision. They would become the new guardians of the Milky Way, using their newfound powers to nurture life and defend against cosmic threats. But they would do so with the wisdom born from their varied origins, the curiosity of humanity, the adaptability of the Krolfax, and the cosmic insight of the Void Hounds. As the ascended beings spread out across the galaxy, seeding new life and sharing knowledge with developing civilizations, Zara's consciousness, still distinct within the collective, reflected on their journey. From a simple colonization mission to the guardians of an entire galaxy, humanity had come farther than anyone could have dreamed. The storm had come, just as the precursors had warned. But humanity, through courage, adaptability, and unwillingness to reach across the stars in friendship, had not only weathered it, they had transcended it. And as new stars bloomed into life under their guidance, Zara knew that the greatest adventures still lay ahead. For in a universe of infinite possibilities, this was only the beginning.